with all the pollen running around out here.
Oh yeah, it wants to be winter.
Pollen.
Well, no, it was summer.
Spring.
It was high 80s, and then we suddenly swung back down to 50s. So it was very confused.
High 80s. Wow.
In Austin, yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird here.
In Texas. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's Texas. It doesn't know. It has its own weather system. It doesn't know what it wants to be.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like in one day, like it's normal to either drop 40 degrees or raise 40 degrees in one day.
Well, we have that every once in a while here, but it's usually it goes from 0 to 40,
Yeah.
and then drops back down.
Yeah.
No, it is the AC killer essentially, because it's like pumping out cold air because it's 90 degrees, and then suddenly it's like okay, heater.
Yep.
It's like struggling to switch gears.
Yeah.
I mean, we still got probably get 2 feet of snowpack on the ground outside.
What's wrong with you?
It's not his
Nothing
fault.
with me. It's just
Heather,
just the way it is.
They need the snow for the water. The thing we lack. We lost.
I haven't.
We should have had another 200 inches up at Snow Bowl for the snowpack, and I think they got a total of under 50 inches this year. It was ridiculous how little snow they got.
We got 70 inches in 4 days one time.
Yeah.
It was all snow, lake effect snow. It was,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was crazy.
Hello, Max.
Hello.
All right. General Kenobi.
Hello there.
Discord chat.
Yes, Discord chat, always useful.
I upgraded the OS on this one.
To 11?
It usually is.
This one goes to 11?
No, this one went to Sequoia 15.3.1.
Oh, okay. Your Mac. Got it.
Yeah.
I had to upgrade my... It was funny. I had to upgrade my Mac, or my work Windows laptop. The people were yelling at me like, IT's going, you got to go to 11. We're going to force the upgrade. And I'm like, I don't want to go to 11. I hate 11. I don't like the interface. And somebody's like, you can move the taskbar from the center to the left, right? Correct? And I'm like, wait a minute. And there's a dark mode. Okay, wait a minute. Now it's acceptable.
There's been a dark mode, and I mean, I've been running Windows 11 since
Yeah.
it came out. I mean,
no, I just don't like the center, and I still like the menu. I wish I could have it show all programs all the time, like 10 does, but it's fine.
It works well enough.
Yeah.
This PC came with 11, so.
Gotcha.
But now you really have no choice unless you want to pay him $30 extra for the privilege of staying on 10.
Yeah.
No, you won't be able to do that, I don't think, after October. So.
No, there's.
Well, that's no.
You can charge $30,
$30,
I think, and they'll do the extended patches.
Yep.
Because they told a bunch of people you need to go to 11, and their hardware can't support it, and they're like, okay, you need to go back to 10.
Yeah. They messed that up. They're like, okay, upgrade. Oh wait, no, don't upgrade. Don't upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't like that where they're telling you, yeah, you need to upgrade to 11. Oh, but you need to buy new hardware because your hardware.
Right.
Because I have a laptop over here it's got an i7 in it. That's the only Intel thing I own.
Right.
And it'll run 11 fine, but it's one generation too old according to their chart.
Yeah. No, that's when you do the registry hack and upgrade anyway.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. I just haven't sat down to actually do it. So.
Yeah.
But it's irritating.
Whenever you are ready, Mew.
Yep, I think we're ready enough.
Ready enough.
Right.
That's our motto.
Would have said ready enough for government work. That works anymore.
I don't think that.
No. No.
Because I work for the government, and that's.
No.
Sounds like a cluster.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Alrighty. Starting in 3, 2, 1. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
Get ready for a new heresy.
Vegas, now available in WoW.
Repentance has almost arrived.
We have a Lotro 64-bit server update.
And Corley is here to talk to us about AIE in No, not Star Trek. In Star Wars, The Old Republic.
Wow.
Some
Ooh,
game in
it's
space. Pew, 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 pew.
Sorry. Wow,
Who's
that was
fired?
type.
Yep.
All that and so much more coming up right about now.
Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
And welcome to episode 434 of the podcast celebrating you, the LA Yakta S gaming community. The Die Has Been Podcast. This is Mewcow, and to my left and a state or two over is Makala.
Is that state confusion? Anyways, hey guys,
Yes.
there are lemon bars and dark chocolate cookies in the Guild Kitchen. You know, light side and dark side.
Mm-hmm. And to her downstairs is Tetsemi.
Yes. Vowed is really, really good. Just letting you know.
And of course, this week we are joined by special guest Corley, only one of him, who is here to talk to us about AIE in SWTOR. Welcome.
Thanks. I don't have any special catchy phrase like you guys do. Sorry.
That's okay.
You're fine.
And of course, we're going to see what everyone's been going up to. It's been a little bit, especially since we've seen Corley. So why don't we start with Corley, since we haven't seen him in a bit, and see what he's been up to.
So it's actually been since September, I think. Because
Yeah, it sounds
September
right.
of last year. Because that's
Yeah.
the last time I had anything in that channel.
Yes. Yep.
We have here on Discord. So yeah, I mean, other than playing games and working and trying to hope I still have a job. Yeah, I mean, my kid got married last weekend, so that was fun.
Oh,
Congrats.
wow. A little thing.
Yeah. And we're getting ready to take a trip later this month, down to Arizona. So we should hopefully have good weather for that. You know, just
We'll
trying to,
try.
Yep.
trying to keep stuff going in SWTOR. We're kind of in a little bit of dry spell right now, but yeah. So that's pretty much all we've been doing, other than getting buried by snow. That's pretty much all I got going on.
Yeah.
No, that's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yep.
All right, well, why don't we see what Tets has been up to go catty corner.
What have I been up to? So we played our pen and paper game. I'm gonna do the Thursday night game and let you do the Wednesday and the other one. So we did our in-person game Thursdays. That's when we play. Good Lord, it's been a week, and we are doing our big boss battle of the session, and then I think once we're done with this, we're going to look at maybe changing from 5th edition to Pathfinder 2E, very possibly, just to help our DM out, because they're struggling a little bit with, even with the new 2024 stuff, with challenge rating and fights where we just, they're running it for a bunch of people that have been playing D&D forever, so the fights are either cakewalk or total party kill, and there's really no in between, because even bad dice rolls we can make work most of the time. So
Yeah.
so we'll see. It's interesting, but if they could actually fix challenge rating and maybe 60 when it comes out in 5 years, that would be great. But we're gonna try Pathfinder probably and see how that goes. And then for video games, I have been playing a lot of Avowed. got it on the Xbox Game Pass. Figured I'd poke at it and see how it is, and it hooked me. It lets me do the two things I love to do. It lets me play stealth and lets me play ranged. So yeah, I can launch a bunch of spells from stealth and then switch to a bow and just pick off anything that's left, or go to bigger spells if I need to.
I was also amazed to see you can pull out a straight out gun.
Yes, they have rifles. Wow. They have rifles in there, and then they have equipment that gives you faster reloading or shoot faster. Yeah, because it's all based on Path of Exile. So anything that was kind of available in Path of Exile 2, it's that world, and so it lets you play. Basically, it's fighter, wizard, rogue, and then you have 4 companions, eventually 2 of which you take with you. Camp interactions, in between major cutscenes, tons to explore, treasure maps that say vaguely, like vanilla WoW quests. Go east, find something, turn south. It's over there by something, that's about how, so it very, very much harkens back to vanilla WoW questing, but it's fun. And there's a lot of, how do you want to actually solve this? Like one I just did where you go confront a bunch of renegades and they're like, okay, so you can either tell them no, you can start a fight, or you could say, I'll be back with the thing you think is precious, and then you stealth around to the outside of the 2 camps and steal their banners and bring them back and go, okay, now we've got your banners. Are you willing to listen to us? And they're like, yeah, and you didn't kill anyone? We're like, nope. Okay, yeah, I guess we'll listen to you. So, it's that kind of, you can go in guns blazing, you can go in diplomatic, you can, there's a lot of intelligence, resolve, strength. There's a lot of stat-based dialogue options, as well as your background dialogue options to kind of change the outcome, how some of these encounters go. So it's really fun. It's, the graphics are good. I'd call it a Skyrim light, because you're constantly getting distracted by the side quests and not focusing on the main quest.
Sounds like life.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's what I have been up to.
I thought it was interesting that also if you have the BattleNet launcher up, that Avowed popped up too, saying, hey, if you have the Microsoft Battle Pass, you can play it for free right now. So they're already starting to cross-pollinate. Yeah,
and Obsidian, who is the maker of the developer of the game, did a really good job with. There's some, you get the tough choice of, do you want column A and feel bad, or do you want column B and feel bad? Those are your only 2 choices.
So either way, you're going to feel bad.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, someone's going to die. You just decide when and where. So, yeah. But that's what I've been up to.
That's right. I forgot Blizzard was bought by Microsoft, right?
Yes.
Yep. Kind of slid under the radar,
Exactly.
No one noticed. Speaking of sliding under the radar, how about you, Makala? What you been up to?
I mean, I guess I've been known to slide under things. All right. So work has been crazy. It's been hell, so let's not go into that. I've been working a little on trying to prep for the summer con season with making jewelry and stuff. And in gaming stuff, our Wednesday Call of Cthulhu campaign is back to our regular sessions. So we had a cliffhanger before our holiday, because we always take time off during the holidays to do, like, you could call it a one-shot, but it's never a one-shot. This was an 8-shot.
We talked too much.
Well, it was intended just to be a storyline. He's gone to the point where, he no longer says, okay, it's a one-shot. It's now just a story. Speaking of shots, we killed a lot of Nazis, and that was fun in our holiday campaign. Yep. But we're back to our regular campaign, and we... So when our cliffhanger was one of the characters, one of the NPCs had disappeared. So we were investigating that, and we found ourselves in this horrible other dimension shadow place. We're trying to, get through, find our way out, being stalked by shadow creatures, and our characters have been investigating this what was once a sanatorium, where a lot of experiments had happened. And the things that we're seeing written on the walls are very similar to things that we've seen there. So eventually we did get out, and of course, in typical Call of Cthulhu style, we get back to the house we're all staying, and we found out that, oh no, the character that we're looking for, they returned a few hours later. They were kind of out of it, and they don't seem to be a pod person necessarily, but something definitely happened to them. So now we're trying to figure out what our next course of action is. We found a key card that'll get us into the scary medical building, the big the corporation that is funding our research, and they're the ones that we're doing. Or there's a relative of somebody who's doing the original research at the sanatorium. So we have a key card. We now have a tablet. Maybe I'll get some more information. So that's where we are there. And then my Star Wars game. Well, after 4 years, 171 sessions, we had our next to last session today.
Yay!
I would like to say, in the immortal world of Doctor Who, everyone lives.
Yay!
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it was...
That's impressive with that many sessions.
Right.
It was tight. It was... we were fighting a big bad who was going to be taking the power from a pre-Rakatan deity who had been put into stasis by the Rakatans to tap down on his power.
So
I'm sorry?
we have one of those in SWTOR. His name is Soa, and you fight him at the end of Eternity Vault. He's a Rakatan who basically tried to take everything over. But anyways.
This guy is a Rakatan. He's pre-Rakatan. But yeah, we've been at a Rakatan temple the last 13, 20 sessions. It's been a hot minute. 1 second, because I don't remember if he is a canon character or not. Korvath is who we're dealing with. Korath. Yeah, our DM made him up. But anyway, so but part of it is one of the characters had taken possession of something called Star's Bane, which is one of the things that kind of held this guy in stasis. The imps got his body out, and they were actually going to use it to man the ring gates through the galaxy, because we're in a alternate galaxy far beyond, even the unknown space. So they were actually using the body to power everything, and we have what is called Star's Bane. One of the characters took control of it, which basically let them turn the force on and off, gave them great amount of power, but came at quite the cost. And in this temple is the place to place Star's Bane, which then destroys the planet, but also completely severs everything with Korath. So we basically, once we were dealt with the big bad, we had him like half down. We got over to we were able to get everyone over there and put it in there. And now the DM's like, okay, how many force points are you willing to to surrender, to sacrifice for this?
Oh my.
And oh yeah. And so basically every character surrendered. I think there was one character that did all that they had, because one of theirs came from their saber,
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of us just did all of our force points, so that it was roll your light and dark.
Oh.
Yeah, and you needed to get 10 light or dark between all the characters. 10 was the trigger point.
Right.
We got dark.
10 dark.
10 dark, 8 light is what we ended up with.
Oh.
So basically what happened was everything was destroyed. We survived. No one was cut off permanently with the force, but we all are now at half our capacity.
Yeah.
Of the force. So, but everyone won. We won. So our DM's like, all right, I need you guys to figure out what your characters are going to do. And then we'll have the last session next week, which is fun because the friends that we're going to go see get married. We're going to be with our gaming group the next week. So these are the people that I play the Star Wars game with and that we play our Call of Cthulhu game with. So that was my big news. We won.
Yay.
All right, Mia, what have you been up to?
Oh, well, let's see. Nothing too terribly exciting. It's been, the weather here has been all over the place. So it's been summer and winter and fall and spring.
All one day?
Yeah. It's sometimes one day, sometimes it takes a couple days, but yeah, no. For the most part, let's see, gaming-wise, the new raid in WoW opened up, so we are in Fallout New Vegas. I'm running amok. It's actually it's a pretty nice raid. It's only the first week, so I don't have long-term impressions, but so far it's it's interesting, it's engaging, it's there's some familiar but still changed up mechanics here and there, and one of the bosses was how they say the one-armed bandit. Well, this was literally a slot machine that fights you.
Oh my gosh, how fun!
Yeah,
and
with one arm.
Yes. Yes, it literally has one giant arm, and that's the tank buster. When he uses the giant arm, he just tries to whap you on the head with it.
Nice.
But yeah, it's got a little bit of kind of mix up like that fight in particular. The 3 of the reels go out, or the reel attendants, and you choose 2 of them to once you defeat them, you take their reel and take it back to the bot. And that will choose what the bot is about to attack you with.
Oh, nice.
So you can kind of
choose your
it not only is not only is what it throws out random, but then you can then choose which of the 3 you wish to combine into something interesting. So
neat.
If you pick the fire reel and the coin reel, then you got flaming coins being shot at you, for example.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it was it's interesting little things here and there. The very first fight surprised everyone because you take out the trash right before the boss, and then the boss comes roaring in on a souped up hot rod, and anyone that was out there going after the trash has now been run over and killed instantly.
Oh no.
So it just and literally just drifts around and just slaughters everyone, and there's just guts flying, and you're like, oh. Okay, so that's how this is starting.
My.
And Seema says you can't pick a combo you've done before. So if you pick the flame and the coins, then you can't do that again.
I remember that it had happening several times, but this was normal. This wasn't heroic. So maybe the heroic or mythic ones make it to where you can't do that.
Gotcha.
It's very possible, but and maybe it also could be that maybe it just doesn't shoot out. Like if you pick the combination, it doesn't shoot out that combination anymore. That's very possible. I just remember seeing a couple times being shot with flaming coins. So. But
okay, so maybe Seema said maybe just heroic. Not that we did that either.
But yeah, no, typically I'm tanking these fights, so I don't get to see a lot of what's going on. I'm being pummeled by a giant arm. So
yes.
But yeah, no, it's the new patch has been really interesting. It's like I said, it very much gives me New Vegas vibes because it is essentially Goblin Vegas. It is
awesome.
It even has the jazz music with the saxophone and the horns and whatnot. Like it's got the whole vibe, and there's just quests all over the place that you don't have to do. Like it's there's a linear path you can take for the main quest, but then there's a bunch of little things around here. Like one of the quests was shaking down a scummy landlord, and once you take care of that, then the residents say, okay, well here's a room for you, and this top floor is now your room, and then it opens up a little Hearthstone spot. So
nice.
Can be in that room if you wish.
That's awesome.
Yeah, little things like that, and of course it has the new mechanic, the how last expansion was dragon riding. This is now a car riding. It's got a drift car.
Drift. Yep.
Yes. So it's and it's faster than you can't fly in this zone. I forget what the excuse was because I looked up in the sky and I'm like, I don't see anything stopping us from flying, but whatever. I guess we can't. But instead they give you this drift car, and it is pretty fast, and you can change out the parts in it. And, you can take it to the garage and choose like this engine, this boost, these drift tires, that sort of thing. And it kind of changes up how the car runs. You can use it in the raid as well when you're out in the streets. I haven't gotten to we didn't make it to the last 2 fights, so I don't know if you actually use the car during a fight or not. But it's an interesting raid. Like you're actually the raid is also, which makes sense. It saves on dev time, but they're using the city that you're in as the raid zone.
Right.
You're just going to different areas.
Like the siege on Orgrimmar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same idea. Like I think they're getting smart. And it's like, we already have this really cool area. Let's just use it again. No big deal.
Exactly.
But funnily enough, the cars that are in the streets in the raid are now hostile. And just like at the very first boss, if you get hit by a car in the streets in the raid, you're instantly killed.
Oh no!
So that's quite the chaos of people, running through the raid and just someone's suddenly dead. Oh, they get ran over. So it's just, and of course we have our evokers and our priests having fun times dragging people around so they can deposit them in the street as they get killed and run and cackle. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting time, but yeah, that's that, and but that's pretty much been WoW. Trying to catch up on the Goblin story. It's like I said, very interesting. I feel like they had fun with this. I kind of joked to the raid team that I bet you that Blizzard probably wrote this off on their taxes when they went to the Vegas trip.
There you go. Exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's like we're doing research. Yeah, we're totally not here for our because like every other year they do a Vegas trip. So just one of those trips they said, hey, let's write this off. No big deal.
No big deal.
There we go. Yeah.
But other than that, my non MMO game has still been the last Descendant, whatever it is, Descendant, something TFD. Final or first, I forget which, but it's it's still an interesting, engaging game. I'm seeing a lot of people still poking at it, although everyone else is playing Monster Hunter Wilds. So that seems to be the 2 things I see on Steam right now.
The first Descendant.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's an interesting game, and it's completely free. It actually is truly completely free. You can grind everything in the game. And there's no initial cost to start the game either. So, of course, they would love for you to give them money and shortcut some of the things. But
of course.
But yeah, that's probably enough out of me.
That's funny because one thing I forgot to mention was I'm playing No Man's Sky a lot.
Right.
And that game, you can't give them any money after you buy the game.
Yeah.
They're like just spitting stuff out left and right, and it's like, here you go. It's like, I want to give you money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Which is interesting, is are enough people still buying the game to pay for all that?
Well, they're using it as a test bed for their next game. They're putting a lot. Yeah, so like they just did Worlds 2, I think, which is the revamp of some of the world exploration.
So
go ahead.
Yeah, they made gas giants, which they're not really gas giants. They're just huge planets with. Then they're always a storm because normal gas giants don't have any surface or anything.
Right.
These have a surface, and they always have storms going on and stuff. And they added some new resources and stuff, and they added water worlds, like complete water worlds, and it's like 1,000 meters deep is what you can go in these things. It's
wow.
It's crazy. And there's hermit crabs walking around on the bottom that have like diving helmets as their shell. They're pretty cool. But yeah, I know we're not talking about No Man's Sky, but yeah, that's.
That's how they're not funding, but they're able to go. Yeah, all this tech's going into our next game, so it's just research. We're just writing it off.
and that's exactly what they're doing. I mean,
yeah,
especially with the new big worlds, because supposedly that game is going to be one huge world, just one world, and so that's probably what some of this is going into it. And like I just finished the expedition, which it's like a goal-based mode. I just finished it for the second time. I did it with my son over the weekend.
Nice.
Friday and yesterday. Yeah. So this one was actually fairly easy. So going back to your point, he just bought the game, a couple weeks ago. So,
nice.
Somebody is buying it. Some people are.
Somebody
buying
is.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly.
Yep.
Anyways, sidetrack there. Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, good.
This is Sidetrack the podcast. So
yeah, absolutely. There's no.
Yeah.
No reason to be sorry. That's usually why the chatty section at the front is the longest part of the podcast.
Yes. But speaking of that, why don't we get into the structured section of the podcast?
Fine.
Yeah, I know. And talk about AIE news.
AIE news.
All right, guys. Mandatory fun night, where the fun is mandatory, but attendance is not. On Sundays, we have Destiny 2 at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't ask me what time that's now, right?
Yes.
Sorry. Daylight savings time. Yes. Arizona doesn't change, so I'm all messed up. Monday, we have Guild Wars 2 at 9:30 Eastern Time. Monday, STO at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Tuesday, SOTOR with our friend Corley at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesday, HFO Mythic and Mayhem and WoW at 8 p.m. Thursday, board game night on the first and third Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Max. Friday, ESO, 9 p.m. Eastern. Saturday, Lotro at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Saturday, Final Fantasy 14 Maps Night at 9:30 Eastern. And, of course, wrapping it all up, our friends over at Noob Raid and WoW at 11 p.m. Eastern.
And in streaming and guild podcast news, we have a lot of AIE member podcasts. You want to know where to find them? Well, we've got them for you. The New Overlords podcast with Max and Seema at newoverlords.com. The Working Class Nerds with Marcus and Nick, not safe for life.
Don't do it.
Do
it, but don't have kids listening.
Yeah. Boards and Swords with Chris and Philip. Dr. Gameology with Dr. Daniel Kaufman. STO, Star Trek Online, the Fleet Action Report with Greebog and Nicodus. And we have a note about the podcast coming up in their section. And, of course, a podcast reborn, a Final Fantasy XIV community podcast with Brandon, a.k.a. Old Man Franks, Megan, and Ro. Again, not safe for life. And if you like the Waifu Wars, they just did round 1 of this year's Waifu Wars. So, and don't worry, there are husbandos in there as well. So,
and there are links to all these podcasts in the show notes.
Yep. I'm not reading links.
No.
All right, over in No Man's Land, where things like No Man's Sky happen. We're going to start No Man's Sky. Destiny 2 is currently working on episode Heresy Act 1, because Act 2 launches this Tuesday with a new mode called Court of Blades. It takes inspiration from Destiny 1 Court of Oryx, which I remember fondly, and it has an augment system similar to that WoW had in Torghast, which I don't remember as fondly.
No.
Oh.
No. There are 5 new weapons that are tied to this activity. They got a little carrot out there. Play. Guardian Games also launches with Act 2. Guardian Games has a Boss Rush mode as an activity. So, fun times there. Bungie had a developer stream last week going over Act 2 and gave information on new things coming to Act 3, which launches in only 3 weeks after Act 2. Act 3 has a mode coming that is basically what LFR is in WoW, but for Destiny 2 dungeons, called Explorer Mode. About time.
Yeah.
It seems pretty cool. Basically, a match-made activity with lots of markers and tips in-game on how to complete the dungeon, because it is really easy to get lost. And even if you've been running them hundreds of times, just sometimes you get lost. It's just how it is. It's dark. It's always dark there. Otherwise, they don't have any currently planned guild activities. There is a handful of people still playing and getting together to run Nightfalls and dungeons. So if you are interested in catching up with the crew, they are there for you to play with.
All right, and in WoW news, have a little bit of some WoW news and a little bit of raid wrap-ups. All right, Liberation of Undermine raid has arrived with lots of crazy mechanics, as we discussed, and Big Vegas vibe. Wow, Big Vegas vibe. There we go.
Easy for you to say.
You can get Gusty for that one.
The thing is, if I'm in Vegas, I've had some cocktails, so I'm just giving you, the experience there.
There you go.
First boss Vexy and Gear Grinders make quite the entrance.
As we
you
mentioned.
have been warned. As Mew referred to. Raid Team Kitty Aggro cleared normal. Good night, Gallywix, as well as Vexy on heroic. Alliance Team Hellfroze over down 5 bosses on normal, up to Sprocket Monger Lock and Stock. Their progression team Let's Go Skating picks up right about now with the One-Armed Bandit. New Braid defeated 2 bosses, Vexy and the Cauldron of Carnage, aka Mech Kong versus Fire-Breathing T-Rex, and the weekly world boss. Great job, noobs.
Also, the names for the bosses in this raid are completely over the top. They're great.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Clearly.
Goblins, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's a full goblin raid, not just one boss. Everything is
my
goblin
God.
inspired. Like that
makes
Mecha Kong
sense.
versus Fire Breathing T-Rex is totally a thing.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
my
it is-
god.
you're in
Are
the
they-
giant. Oh,
Yeah, I
they're
was gonna
huge.
say, are they in something and you're fighting? Or
Wait,
you're
so
fighting them
it's
with-
you have to split off because it's if you've ever done one of the other ones where they have like 2 different bosses and you can't be close to each other because then they'll start to empower each other, and also there's a debuff going on, so you can't like sit in the middle and try to cheat and hit them both at the same time. They make you separate, and then you have to swap.
Yeah.
So and the swap
you do.
mechanic, is when the 2 of them decide to fight each other, because you have to have a giant boss battle, the giant mecha, it's Kong versus T-Rex, so they'll start clashing, but that's your chance to then scurry to the other side and then resume how things are going. So
Nice.
yeah, one of many interesting designs.
Awesome.
So you think it's a little homage to Kong versus Godzilla?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. There's 1 wing, 3 bosses available in LFR for those with gear level 606. On Tuesday, the raid will be available in story mode for solo players. You don't get loot, but can complete a quest for a nice crafting item upgrade. Delves in Season 2 awards a new customizable mount, Delves Globetrotter, I guess. And Bran can now tank, but needs our help with the encounter after a villain known as the Underpin, who stole Bran's heart and
His
our
hat.
curios.
His
Hat.
hat.
Wow. What is wrong with me tonight?
Yeah.
I should probably make the writing on this bigger.
And
Are you
there's
thinking of Indiana Jones, maybe hat, heart,
Yeah.
Halima?
Yeah, true.
and there is an
Maybe.
achievement for having Braun, because he comes in with a random hat each time. I think he has to
Yeah.
wear
So his trusty hat is gone.
yes. And so there's a certain number of hats you have to get him to wear, and then
That's
get
great.
the
So a man of
achievement.
many hats.
yes.
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
That's fun. Among new curios are McCanzer Easy Built Kit and the Kajakola Carrier. There are 2 new delves, Suicide Sluicy?
No, Side Street Sluice.
Side Street. Wow. My
AKA,
brain is not working
what
tonight.
floor am I on again?
We're on again. At Excavation Site 9, previous delves have some minor story updates with goblin shenanigans, of course. And Engineering Inc. is on 6 of 8 on normal, and they raid on Saturday nights.
Yep.
Yeah, and as a quick note too, delves now give really good stuff. They give like the M plus level stuff now.
Yeah.
And so you're no longer it was already nice enough that you were able to still get gear upgrades doing delves on your own. Now they're finally letting us not have to do M pluses, which I kind of might have skipped anyway. But you can get those badges now and not have to go through M plus.
Yep.
I think plus is like the worst.
Yeah.
Of the worst in MMOs, I think. But that's my opinion. Not everyone's.
All right, and switching to WoW Classic, we've been seeing some more AIE traffic in the Classic Discord channels, which is encouraging. Nothing big on the news to speak of regarding the WoW Classic alternative universe. However, one thing we didn't add, but we're adding now, is they are talking Season 3 of... Mew, help me out. What's the... They're doing Season of Discovery. And there's a whole new raid that never was in WoW before that they're putting in there.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. So they're adding brand new content to this mode.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's the it's the if you've ever done
Discovery part.
Yeah, if you've ever done the Death Knight starting area, it takes place in that there's a raid in that area that happens. So you get to see what happened in that time of the Death Knights and stuff like that. So yeah, it's interesting. All right. And switching modes to ESO, they are almost done with week 2 of the Tales of Tribute tournament. They have one match remaining between Renatha and Bashira. So this is how the members stack up heading into the third week. Dan Kinney, of course, is 4-0. Renatha is 3-0. New Type 2-2. Kramer 1-3. David 1-3, and Bashira at 0-3. And for next week's matches, we have New Type versus Renatha, Dan Kinney versus David, and Bashira versus Kramer. Good luck to all the players.
Over in Final Fantasy XIV, everyone is eagerly anticipating the March 14th live letter, which will be at 3 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're a late nighter, you're good to go. Otherwise, you learn everything when you wake up. The patch is expected to be March 25th, but it will be confirmed in the live letter. It's just that's with the timing. They're pretty good about their timing. So unless there's been a delay, that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you've got the Moogle Tombstone stuff going on, and that's probably about it. They're in that pre-patch lull.
Yep.
Over in STO, Star Trek Online's 15th anniversary event is going on now with Garrett Command Alliance Dreadnought Cruiser as the reward. Dreadnought Cruisers are usually pretty hefty. Mm-hmm. This event ends soon, and you no longer have enough time to earn the cruiser for free. But you can at least reduce the cost if you still want it. Mm-hmm. So you just do it as often as you can remaining, and then it lowers the price each time you get in there.
Which is smart.
Yeah. Many are hailing this as one of the better ships available in the game, and it's our recommendation that you do not miss this chance. The Fed, go check it out. The Fed fleet is still just stacking provisions to allow folks to earn their fleet credits for use in the fleet stores, which is very nice of them.
Absolutely.
Because they're done. Like that's you can't
contribute
to buildings anymore, so it's just stacking provisions so you can still do something. The KDF fleet, however, is progressing along nicely. They just completed a tier 1 of the colony, which allows for the coffers to autofill a little each day. It'll speed up future progress at the colony as well. The Spire is closing in on tier 3 and will unlock the elite tactical consoles. And the research lab is pushing the projects to complete tier 2, opening up some nice science consoles for doing space magic. Pew pew.
Pew.
Fleet Achigan Report, we mentioned earlier, has just passed 240 episodes and has started a new series on helping players new and returning from a long hiatus in relearning the game, because you do. Like they overhaul things on a regular basis, and suddenly you're like, what is this game? What am I playing? I don't understand.
Yeah.
But we are not sure how many episodes this will take, but that the goal is for them to try and cover the things people struggle with the most. Like they redid the battle system entirely. Like the original battle system for the ground stuff wasn't really that great because all of their focus was on the space.
Yeah.
And then they finally said, you know what? we're making you do this suffering on the ground. Maybe we should fix that. So then they finally went and fixed that. So
All right.
so it's actually not too bad.
Excellent. All right. So, Guild Wars 2 news. The next update for Guild Wars 2 Ganther Wilds is Repentance, which launches on March 11th. If you're listening to this live, that is in 2 days. Upcoming is the currently unscheduled Super Adventure Festival, which usually runs 3 weeks from late March to mid-April, a celebration of old school platforming with bright colors and pixelated graphics.
All right. And in Lord of the Rings Online news, what an adventure it has been. The 64-bit servers have finally opened, and after an issue with character transfers, they are getting the Kin House finally moved to the new 64-bit role-playing server Peregrine. Once they open up the housing and we get our Kin House, we will have a Kin House party to celebrate the Saturday night mandatory fun night after the house is purchased. The Spring Festival also returns at 10 a.m. on March 13th and runs through April 1st.
So the second they get a house, they're having a house party. Got it.
I mean, that's what you do.
I'm still waiting for my characters to get transferred.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
Oh my
an
gosh.
adventure.
Friday. Yeah, I tried to transfer on Friday. It failed. I got an email on Saturday saying it failed. And I tried to start it again yesterday. And I haven't got an email saying it's good or bad. And
Yeah.
I don't want to log in to like mess it up. So
Right,
No, absolutely
exactly.
not.
Yeah. I'm going to let you guys
Alright.
sort it all out, and then I'll move mine. So
Yeah.
All right. So now that we've talked about everything else, now we're gonna say, hey, Corley, what's going on in SWTOR?
SWTOR. We're still chugging along. We have our mandatory fun night like we talked about on Tuesdays. We are looking for some more ideas on things that people want to do. This last week we hit some Datacrons just because we were in the areas, so we might do that some more because we do have some new players in the guild and coming to mandatory fun night on Tuesdays. So we might do Datacrons here in the next couple weeks, or just in general do a couple maybe every thing. But yeah, the game it's in a lull right now, unfortunately, because it just in between patches, in between stories.
Right.
Because we were supposed to get story with the last patch, which was 7.6, and that didn't happen because of the voice actor strike that's still going on.
yeah.
Unfortunately, we have a new patch coming out on Tuesday, on the 11th. 7.6.1 that's supposed to give us some more stuff, but we still don't have the story in that one either.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of dragging this story out, and yeah, it's not helping. I don't think it's helping the game a whole bunch, but they're
Oh,
trying
no,
to do a
no.
bunch of stuff. They're trying to do a lot of stuff. They're trying to catch up and everything like that, and trying to keep people involved, which is good. I mean, it's still a fun game, So we have our mandatory fun nights on Tuesdays. We have raid night running tonight. They should be running right now. That will be our taco team. That is on. They're on the Sith side, or as everybody says, the Imperial side, but it's actually Sith Empire.
Yep.
That's a
Yep.
Max will get that. And then we have a Republic team on Monday nights. We used to have 2. We only have 1 right now. I believe they're always looking for people to fill in on Sunday and Monday. So if anybody wants to run a raid, as long as you got an 80 and a subscription and a ship, I guess you got to have a ship too to get to some of the raids. You jump in. I mean, they will show you how to do everything in the raid. I mean, most of the story mode raids are not hard except for R4, and we'll talk about that we will talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have that, and then Tuesdays, Wednesdays we have another Imperial, Sith Empire Imperial team. I believe they have an opening because we just had somebody step away from the game, playing a game a lot. They still, I think, raid on Sundays, but they just stepped away. So they might have an actual spot that might be open all the time, or they may have filled it. I don't know. We'll see. But if anybody's interested in playing, we have that. Wednesday nights we also is the night that Stask usually runs events. It could be Normally it's PvP, but there could be some other things mixed in there a little bit. Maybe flying GSF. And that starts at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. And Staska's typing in the chat. Yeah, so it's PvP during PvP seasons, which we have 3 weeks left in the PvP season going on right now. That gives you some interesting looking armor sets. If you finish that, you basically get for each milestone you reach, you get tokens, and those tokens let you buy some of the gear too, or buy some other stuff. We just finished 2 weeks ago. We just finished the super extended bounty hunter galactic seasons that we had, and the new one is starting with this new patch that's coming out on Tuesday. So we have, but as far as the guild stuff, finishing that up. Sorry, get sidetracked. We have sometimes we have stuff going on Fridays. Fridays is kind of like a revolving thing. It could be flashpoints, it could be uprisings, it could be GSF, Galactic Starfighter, or PvP if that stuff's going on. You know, but that's kind of or it'll be crazy raid. You know, operations night. They did one time that was all sorks, all sorcerers. So we ran a whole raid with just, you know, and sorcerers. Well, sorcerers can be tanks, they can be healers, and they can be DPS. And then we did another one that was all commandos, which are the troopers. But that's only healer and DPS. There's no tank spec in that class. So we did that stuff. That was kind of fun. We did a couple of those. Thursday nights, you know, I run raid team on Thursday night. Most of the time we're full. We are full, but every once in a while we have a spot open. We're actually trying to do some stuff we haven't done in a long time. At least, well, I've actually never done it at level. We're trying to do the third raid that came out in the game, which is Explosive Conflict, because there's a way back when, before they level synced all the content, we used to run it all the time on MFN, right? Because you could cheese it, because it was a level 50 and we were like level 60 or level 70 or something like that. Or so actually maybe something, I don't know. So but we decided, but when they level synced it, now the vet mode. So we had story mode, vet mode, and master mode, and the master mode we used to do because it was easy, and you could get, there was a mount that dropped off of the 2 tanks, Firebrand and Stormcaller, that people want. Well, now it's actually a vet mode. It's actually hard again, or at least more difficult than story mode. So we're actually in there trying to get that mount. One of our team members, Thon, wants the mount. He's never got it. It's one of the few things he probably doesn't have in the game. So we're trying to run that. We've killed the first 2 bosses. The tanks gave it. We tried to run it again this last time. The tanks gave us some problems because we were not maybe paying attention as well as we should. Because we're like, yeah, we beat this. We got this now. No, that didn't work. No. It is a tough fight because there's a lot of stuff. Because you got the 2 tanks. You got to stand on the tanks, beat the tanks up. Then the tanks like knock you off, and you have to kill these ads. And you got all this stuff on the ground, and it's rinse and repeat with that stuff. But it's pretty crazy. So, but yeah. So I mean,
fun fight, though.
Yeah, it's interesting. We still have, even though the game's kind of in a lull right now, we do have stuff going on. I mean, we've gotten a lot of new members into the guild, which is nice. We're trying to add more, just to get new faces in the game.
Always.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So coming up this Tuesday. So a couple weeks ago we had a dev stream. You still you know what? I don't know if. Yeah, I don't. Oh, so you still have a couple days to get. So there is a Twitch drop for a deco for your stronghold that once 7.6.1 drops, which is on Tuesday, you won't be able to get anymore. So you can do it tonight, and you only have to watch for 1 hour to get that. And it's a basically a picture you hang on a wall.
Yeah. Is it? It's not Ord Mantell. What is it? It's
It is. It is Ornamental.
Oh, it is Ord Mantell. Good lord.
Yeah, it is. It's Ornamental with a. It's got a purple frame around the picture.
Right.
I think we have that picture already. It's just a different one. But so when the patch drops, so we got a bunch of stuff going on with that. There is going to be Twitch drop that runs for 28 days.
Mm-hmm.
That is a new mount. You got to watch for 4 hours for this one, but it's called the AC-10 Disruptor mount, and it's not like any other mount we've had in a game. It's not a reskin of another mount.
No.
So
it looks cool.
Yeah. Kind of looks like a manta ray almost.
Right. Yeah.
With the tail, and then it's got a dish on the back. I mean, so it looks cool. That's going to be interesting to get, and you got to watch for 4 hours. To help with that, we have been streaming our Thursday night raid team. So you can watch all the shenanigans there. We run for 2 hours, and then Stask also usually streams on Sundays in the morning, showing he's doing some playthroughs of some of the story stuff. I think he's trying to finish a commando through the whole story. So he's on Twitch. He usually posts in the Discord when he goes live. So
yep, I saw that this morning.
And maybe we might try to stream MFN also this Tuesday, and that way, a couple more hours there. So, but yeah, that mount looks nice.
Yeah.
I like that one. But with the patch, we're getting Galactic Season 8, Rising Power. It's kind of focused on a mode of the game called, or a part of the game called Uprisings, which were supposed to be short, easy flashpoints, which were instances, right? They usually have 1 or 2 bosses. The story mode ones, I mean, yeah, they weren't too bad, but the master mode and the vet mode were pretty hard.
Ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, they can be pretty hard. Some of them are pretty crazy. But so they're going to be focused on that. So we don't know exactly what's going on it, but supposedly there's going to be like somebody equated them to mythic mode or mythic dungeons and WoW, the affixes that you get on bosses and mobs and stuff in there. But it's they're buffs, and I don't know if I'm assuming the buffs are going to be on you. And there's like 3 different ones. One that causes like every fifth mob to blow up, causing damage to everything around it. And I'm assuming that damage is to you also if you're standing too close.
Right.
Then you got another one that's drones will assist you taking enemies down, which is good. And then there's another one that gives you a point blank. It says point blank AOE, so I'm guessing it explodes off of you.
Right.
So it's supposed to make it different. The combat enhancers may also give your enemies a buff too.
So that's not good.
There you go.
Well,
so
I
it
mean,
is on you and on your enemies.
Yeah.
So
keeps
we'll
it
see.
spicy.
Roll a 1.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know Stask is gonna love this one because it's Uprisings, because he likes Uprisings.
Mm-hmm.
Seema might not as much because I don't think she likes Uprisings. I'm not a huge fan of Uprisings either, but I'll try them out. I'll suffer through it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, it should be interesting. It's something new. That'll be interesting.
Poor Seema. For those not in the chat, Seema just gave the red angry face.
Yes.
Well, she might have gave that because I called her out. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure she did. Yeah, you called her out.
No. I agree with her. If you can't stealth through it to the boss, you're wasting your time.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting. I don't think they posted any of the rewards for it yet. Because I'd like to see what the last few sets that they've given us for the Uprisings, for the Galactic Seasons, the armor sets have been pretty neat. They're pretty neat looking.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what we get. I know there's one being added. They you know what, they did show. So there's gonna be a couple pets that you can get. They're like probe droid pets that float from the reward track. There's a couple titles. They're gonna focus, for some reason they're focusing around Drummacos and Coruscant. So I don't know how that's gonna pull into the story, because you also get 2 Coruscant and Drummacos themed mounts, and these mounts look pretty good. I don't know if anybody here. You know what? I'll just post this in the chat.
Yeah,
So you can
yeah.
go there if they want. But the mounts look cool. They almost look like 50s or 60s cars because they have that blocky nature and
That
stuff
fits
like
for
that.
George Lucas.
Yes.
Yeah. Surprised. I just watched American
Graffiti.
a couple weeks ago. But you have that. There's some decos that you get, sculptures, and it's all themed around Coruscant and Dromund Kaas, the two capital planets. At least I think that's what. Yeah, so that's rewards. So it should be interesting. It should be fun. I mean, the Galactic Seasons. This last one ran really, really long.
Yeah.
And it was like, season's still going on, because I finished it. Most people finished it before the beginning of the year, but then it went on for another month, which is good for people who couldn't do it over the holidays and everything. But it's like, this is still going on.
I think they're
that was fun.
the SAG-AFTRA strike for the voice actors and stuff like that is really impacting their development work, which is a shame.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is they're able to work on other thing, the other story bits, and then all they got to do is record the voices and put them in it. So that hopefully, we'll get.
Hopefully, they're getting a backlog ready to go.
Yeah. So the next patch also has some skins coming out for the Basilisk droid companion you could unlock with Ventures, which I have not done yet. I have been playing too much No Man's Sky and other stuff. But there's 3 new ones for that. They got obviously some Cartel Market stuff coming out. They have this weird, and I'm saying weird because it looks weird, but this spacesuit, which looks like you're wearing a freaking a fish bowl on your head. I don't understand that, but I mean, it looks neat. That looks more like it should be in Star Trek than in Star
that sounds
Wars.
very that sounds very Star Wars.
I mean, unless you're a Mandalorian, they don't really typically have that kind of gear.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't necessarily have to wear the helmet if you don't like the helmet, because the suit looks cool because it's got wrinkles. It's not like skin tight like so much other stuff is, and when the game first came out. And they also have, so they're also going to be retiring stuff, although that looks like they say retiring older, lower performing things out of the Cartel Market, but that already happened, I guess, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, that's the spacesuit that I was talking about. And then they're doing another doing another bundle, which everybody balks at. They're like, oh my gosh, that's $100. Well, you're getting 6 months of sub time. Yeah. So that's right there. That's like $80 already. And then you're getting like cartel coins, which I mean that's another $20, I think. Plus you're getting another mount that your companion can that your companion can ride with you on. Right. Or a pet. This might just be a pet. But so that was something they added actually in the last patch, was they started putting mounts in that would let, when you have a companion summoned, they basically ride in a sidecar with you as you're driving around.
No mysterious disappearances.
Say again?
No mysterious disappearances.
Right.
Yeah. It would be awesome if they would like shoot stuff as you flew by. But,
yeah, exactly.
Stuff that's attacking you, but no, that's fine, whatever. So that's neat. It would be also nice if they made it multiple person mounts, like the old bike, the motorcycle in WoW that you had, that somebody could ride in the side. It would be nice to have that. I'm sure they're looking at it. They've heard it many times.
Yeah.
But so that was all the stuff that they talked about in a live stream that they had a couple weeks ago. But just a couple days ago, or earlier this week, they said, hey, patch is coming out on the 11th, but hey, these are other things that are coming. And we're like, why didn't you talk about this in a live stream?
Right.
So, so the Dantooine Spring Abundance Festival is returning with the patch. And I have to be honest, I don't remember what it was the first time it came around. So that'll be new for me, so that's cool. And they're also adding so this is the R4 section of the talk here. They're adding a timed run mode for R4.
Why?
Which is
why are they torturing people?
Hardest up for vet mode R4 on top of that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Who is? I mean, it's
Who's
good
asking
for
for
those
this?
people. Well, the people who are around vet mode are like, oh, everything's too easy. Well, here you go. You got something else to do. So that's good for them.
Yeah.
But I really think that's a very small small subset of people who play SWTOR.
Yeah.
You know.
How about balancing the other levels?
Yeah, make story mode easier because we still haven't finished it.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm sure if we like beat on it and beat on it and beat on it, we would eventually beat it. But it's like, that last boss, it's crazy. Now we do have, with the last patch that they released, they did put in a new tier of augments because and again, I didn't even talk about this. They put in a new lair boss, which is a one boss raid, basically operation. We call him Lieutenant Dan because he's got no legs.
Got no legs.
He floats around, but it's a droid it's a droid who was in the fortress that Malgus had above Ilum in the original game, and then you blow it up at the end of False Emperor Flashpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And it crashed on Ilum. Well, evidently this droid's in there, and he's like trying to build new droids. But the droids he's building are like partially like organic, and it's like, this is kind of weird. But he's yeah. So they put in that boss, and that boss drops the schematics for the new augments, which are basically, they're like, enhancements for your gear. They're small things. It's like enchanting your gear almost.
Mm-hmm.
With you can get ones for DPS ones, which affect critical rating. You get ones for tanking. They have and stuff like that. So, but that thing drops those, and then some materials you need to make them. So now that we have those, maybe R4 would be a little bit easier. I don't know, but yeah, why can't we just make R4 just tone it down? Just tune it down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's a neat raid. I mean, it's got some interesting mechanics in that one. With the 4 bosses that are in there. But the last boss is just, Lady Dominique is just a pain in the butt. And I'd really like to beat it. But if you do beat it on this time mode, you will automatically get the Wings of Nyrot mount, which basically, Nyrot is one of the bosses in there, causes this red stuff to grow. It's nasty. We call it Sweet Nyrot because the boss, I forget what the boss's name is, but we call him Kevin for some reason. I don't know why. Lucy would know that one because I think she started that name. But yeah, so it's just, you get these wings and they're like red and they're like feathery and stuff. They're neat looking, but that ain't never gonna happen. Because you have to finish the raid in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So, yeah. I mean, if you've already cleared it on vet mode and you got it on farm, then you probably could do it in 40 minutes. Because there are Dread Fortress has the same kind of thing. It has a timed mode. And I think you get the Wings of the Architect for finishing that, which are the ones that they kind of look like Doc Ock's arms, but it's from Bestia. Is it Bestia? Brontes. I think it's Brontes is the last. I don't know. No, it's Bestia. Anyways, the last boss of Dread Fortress drops can drop those. And Thon, again, one of our team members, he has all the Marvel character, like, cosplay kind of stuff in the game. Yeah. He has it all, and he made one that looks like Spider-Man, and he has the Wings of Architect, so he looks like Iron Spider from
that's great
comics. So yeah, so that's the stuff they're adding in the patch tomorrow, and some of the stuff that we've had. So it'll be interesting to see what this Galactic season is going to be, with the uprisings. Now, I mean, uprisings they are part of it. You don't have to necessarily do the uprisings to probably finish the season, but it might. I wouldn't say it's the easiest way to finish the the season, but we'll see. It should be interesting. There are good things coming. Star Wars Celebration is in
Next
May,
week?
I think. No, it's in May.
Oh! I was getting trips confused. Yes, it's
Yeah.
no, it's late April.
Is it? Because it's
It's
in
late
Tokyo
April.
this
Yeah,
year.
yeah, it's in Tokyo this year.
Some of the devs are going over there. They're not going over there for the game, but they're going over there personally. So that should be interesting. They're not going to have a cantina over there, but maybe we'll hear some.
Yeah,
They
it's
do have a
April 18th
panel.
through 20. Yeah, April 18th through 20th.
Yeah, they did say. I thought they said they had some kind of one of the keynote thing or something for Star Wars Celebration. They had a presentation for the game, which is good because we're getting acknowledged of actually, existing in the world for Star Wars. Because for so many years we weren't. Star Wars. Yeah, that's what their video on the stage, as Seema says. So so that's good. So
That's
maybe that'll
awesome.
bring some more people into the game. Someone like, there's a Star Wars MMO. I didn't know that. But we'll see. So, but it's kind of a bright future coming up once the strike ends. I'm really hoping we finish the story with the
Soon.
Mandalorian.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to know what Malgus is up to. I want to know what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say this has been going on for like 2 years. It's like, tell us.
Yeah.
I want to know what he's doing. Is he coming back? Are we going to be able to join him?
Yeah, exactly.
That might be interesting. So yeah, but we shall see. And come and join us on Tuesdays, or on any of the raid nights, or even on Friday or Wednesday. We're doing stuff.
Yeah.
You do not need to know how to play the game. We can show you. We have enough people that can we can carry people if we have to.
Yeah.
It's fun. So.
Well, that's the funny, it's why you have a guild, so you can learn the game and you can have people show you the ropes and carry you as needed to get the gear, so you can do stuff later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or socialize.
A lot of people will tell you. That gear really doesn't matter in the game unless you're trying to do operations or stuff like that. If you're doing the story mode, I mean, when we're leveling tunes, like for what were we? Oh, for Conquest.
Yeah.
When we won another planet too. We won Terrace.
Yep.
And then we won. What was the other one? I don't know. I don't remember what the last
one
one
of the
was.
starter planets, wasn't it?
Was the Rishi?
Ilum.
Ilum. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was Ilum. Yeah, we won Ilum and we won Terrace. Terrace was the original. Was the first one because Stask was like, we got to win Terrace for Terrace, so we did Terrace, which is good, and that stuff. But when you're leveling characters for that, because when you're doing the Total Galactic War, leveling a tune is a lot of points.
Yeah.
Because you get points for, and you don't even bother upgrading your gear.
No.
You put the experience gear on, because some of us have it. Be nice if they brought that back for some people. But yeah, I mean, gear does not really matter as long as you got a companion. And it's when you start doing the higher level stuff, the operations or mode flashpoints or something like that you get to really need a gear. So it is very easy. You can play it like a single player MMO or a single player story game, and still have a lot of fun. And they are doing a lot of updates to the game as far as
art.
The planets. I mean, some of the planets look so much better than it used to. Like when they redid Ilum, one of the last patches. And the characters, they've upgraded the lighting on the characters. They've upgraded the textures on the characters.
The dyes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then some people have, and they're actually fixing in this patch some of the update textures for the characters. Because some of them didn't come out quite right the last patch, so they wanted to fix them. But yeah, it's a good game. We don't have Goblin Vegas coming,
right?
But we do have
Nar Shaddaa.
We do have nightlife on Nar Shaddaa, in the summer, so where you actually do gamble, and if you're max, you don't win the stuff that you want, but. but most people get it. So although he can't complain, he did get the stuff this last time. Or at least something he was trying to get. I think the companion, but
Yeah.
so yeah. So it's a fun game. Come play. Let's keep it going.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay. Sounds like that's our show for tonight. So while the chat room begins suggesting show titles, we want to thank Corley for joining us. So thank you, Corley.
Yay.
Thank you.
All right. And if you have questions or comments about the show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can find us on the AIE Discord and Blue Sky under AIE Podcast. We record live with video every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us live at aie-guild.org. Look for the podcast live stream and look for our link in the Discord server at aie-guild.org. For past episodes, go find them on YouTube. Look for the AIE Podcast. Our theme, of course, was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul.
And now it's time to play all of the great AIE member segments we received this week, including, once again, the mailbox was empty. But just a reminder, if you do want to submit a segment, 90 to 120 seconds, send it to us. We'll put it on the show.
And next time we are talking to guest in game.
Also, we do need to skip next one because we will be in Canada.
Yep.
So we'll wrap up in a month.
Yes.
Yes. So in 4 weeks, everyone.
Yep.
Until then, AIE.
I guess I'm first. So this is Corley.
This is Mukau.
This is McCullough.
This is Tetsemi.
And this has been the AIE Podcast.
Yay!
Excellent show!
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Corley, very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yep.
I think you got voluntold, but we appreciate it.
You did a great job. Lots of great information.
It's been too long.
Yeah.
Too long, that's why.
SEMA threw you right under the
okay.
bus,
Yeah,
don't
so
think
you
Simo
see
was
how
not
she
the
did
only
that.
Sima was not the only one. So
No, I know.
I want to say it was actually like Stask or Lucy that said it first.
Probably Lucy.
I don't know. I have to go back and look.
Yeah. All right. Well, chat room, let us know if you have any show titles. Feel free to follow up after we drop the stream. We're going to go ahead and get out of here and go get some food. So,
We'll make dinner.
exactly. Talk to you later, chat room. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.